Everybody, we're back with another episode of Zoning Out, presented by the Comedy Zone. My name is Jordan Century on all social media channels, and I'm here with my esteemed co-hosts, Jonathan Williams.
And also Jason.
And also Jason.
And
Mr. Williams' comedy
is
important for me to yell.
King Jason Allen, I say it.
There you go. Please follow us, as Jonathan made sure to point out to the crowd last Saturday.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did. Wait,
yeah.
What happened now?
What did I do that was weird?
Oh, just at the Dovetail Comedy Show, he just made a point to stop the show and like panhandle for followers.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I'm doing that like always now.
Yeah.
Unless I forget.
I do it, but I don't think it's hammy though. I think it's actually fairly genuine how I do it. I don't know how he.
I do too. I'm just like, I just say it. I'm not making.
It is. I'm not. Yeah.
You're messing with him though. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't actually bad.
That was a very fun show.
I'm glad you liked it. And we'll have more to say about it in a little bit. I want Jason to finish what he was about to say.
I don't remember what I was about to say.
Okay, fine. Well, we'll get back to it. So, on the show, there was a complaint received for the show we did in Greensboro.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited
the
about
complaint,
this.
Was it me? Was it me?
No, it's funny.
That's lame.
You were
Sure
actually one of the highlights, according to this person.
So they obviously have no idea what they're talking about.
So
that was it.
This person said they wanted more diversity on the show. They were disappointed.
Okay. And I was the highlight.
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's funny. You and Tony
doesn't
Rodriguez.
feel right at all.
So basically, everyone that wasn't a black comic was
is who they liked.
Yeah.
And then they wanted more diversity.
Exactly. But now, to be fair, they were correct. There weren't any women on the show.
Yeah, it was all dudes.
Everybody, straight men. The whole show was straight men. And admittedly, yes, we would have liked to have had more diversity on the show. Also, and look, I get it. They're audience members. They don't know. We asked like 5 different women to be on the show. Yep. And we just, for whatever reason, they were busy. It just didn't pan out. It's not like we didn't try.
This was so. When you say you received like someone email, like what?
Yeah, because there's a way you could submit feedback for this show. I won't say the name of the show, but there's a way you could submit feedback for the show. And so this person wrote, and granted, they weren't like aggressive. They were just giving like their thoughts. So I'm not mad at it. It's just that like, man, I wish people understood everything that went into it. Oh, they were also not upset, but they weren't happy that every person. They weren't happy that every person on the show called a woman a bitch.
Wow.
Yeah, they did that.
I called a 12-year-old a bitch.
Yeah. But that's also the thing that was like, we didn't call like a specific woman that. We all made up hypothetical, or at least me and Jonathan made up hypothetical women and said that.
I don't know if that feels any better, guys, if I'm honest.
You don't think so?
I'm not really defending it. I'm just
I think
I did it.
I'm gonna press some buttons a little bit, but the fact that everybody says it on the show, it's probably not great.
It's kind of a lot.
No, it's also okay. Fine, I'll admit that it's not great. Also, who is counting?
I should be allowed to. I should be allowed
counting?
to. Sure.
How is that?
If I had to guess, probably a woman.
Well, I mean,
she's like, they keep calling us that. Every single one of them has done it. Let's see if the next one does it.
If we kept saying it, right? But like, if you say it once during, everybody had like 15 minutes, I think, right? During the course of 15 minutes, you say it once that okay.
I get it. I totally follow what you're saying. I say it, but I'm referring to a dog salon. Can I finish my thought?
No,
Jesus Christ!
I think that shut up, bitch.
It was a fucking. You're about to get dealt with.
Pardon me. You're about to get dealt with.
That's right. That's right.
That was actually kind of hard. I'm not even gonna lie. Pause myself.
Yeah. Were you gonna finish your thought?
I forgot now.
Okay.
Oh, how many of us were there? 5.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, there were 5.
Yeah, I mean, 5 for 5. That's notable. It'd be one thing if it was 4 of us, or 3, but 5 out of 5, So like none of us individually are to blame. I don't think. I don't think it's the end of the world. But like, I guess I don't really get to make that call because I'm a dude. But like,
I will say I've thought it. When I'm on shows and I hear dudes always like a lot of them sort of refer to bitch. I will say that it never feels like it's out of malice or anything like that. Right. But I observe it. I do.
The reason, I think the reason that I say it in this one part, and I think I'll continue to, if I get if it becomes a thing where people don't really don't like it, I'll be like, all right, y'all win. But the whole point of it when I say it is whoa, you shouldn't say that about a 12-year-old.
Right.
That's the whole joke.
Which I was going to say, which obviously as a teacher you wouldn't say that about a 12-year-old.
Yeah. Right.
The hyperbole of that or whatever.
Right. Yeah. But I mean 5 for 5 is that's notable.
What's your joke? I don't think I know.
So here's the thing. Mine was like a new tag that I just did that night. Normally it's not.
You ruined it for all of us, Jordan.
You could have. We had to try it
that night
because I have a joke about women doing true crime podcasts, and I kind of tell a joke of how peppy they are while describing a murder, and then they'll have a BetterHelp.com sponsor. And then the new tag was, now is not the time for promo codes. And that was it. This was a made up person.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, I don't know. I guess I bring all this up to say that for anybody out there listening that is producing the shows, representation does matter. And we knew that, but I didn't realize how much the crowd was paying attention to that. And I guess I'm glad that they are. But
in a way, we did include women on the show.
Sure didn't talk about them a lot.
If you think about it,
yeah,
I do. I wish there was a lot of shorter comics on shows.
Yeah.
Well, so this person did. Well, they didn't mention that, but they did say also LGBTQ comedians and it wasn't just men and women.
Sure.
Didn't say anything about race because I guess we checked that box even though they didn't like it.
Well, it just wasn't their favorite.
Yeah, no, clearly not. Clearly not.
There was a white presenting Latino.
Well, exactly. It was a white passing.
Yeah. Right.
Interesting. I think part of why you're bringing it up is if there's any ladies who are interested in doing comedy, do it. There's room. There's opportunities. Dear God, I hope it's not as creepy as it used to be.
People might say bitch some, but
that does happen. Yeah.
But it won't be directed at you, or maybe it will be.
I was about to say, we can't guarantee that.
If it is, don't talk to them. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not dicey to come and be a woman in comedy.
You can get work for sure.
Yeah, I think there are some opportunities, and I would also say that I think we need it. We need more women in comedy. Yeah. We need more other voices and things like that.
Totally.
Not to be sort of too corny about it, but I think it will make comedy as a whole better.
It's like anything. I mean, it's like anything. Just the more diversity you have, the more interesting and better the thing is. Mm-hmm. That's just how. That's just.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do a cruise with 22
20
white guys.
Dudes,
you know what I mean?
Who would do that?
That doesn't feel good.
That's a weird sort of hypothetical you just came up with out of nowhere, but
yeah.
Yeah, so all right. I do have another class.
Are we gonna skate by that and just let people wonder?
Oh no, because I mean, apparently cruises are becoming a thing. Jason was actually just telling me earlier. There's this new cruise.
Another one.
There's another cruise.
Because just in case anyone's listening and was thrown by that.
Oh, the cruise that Jason was referring to was the
Nate Bargatze's
cruise. What's it called?
Boat party. I don't know what. I'm sure it's not called
Nate
that.
Nate Bargatze has a cruise ship. It's called, I don't know what it's called. But anyway, it's like that cruise to where it's all white guys.
22, I believe. 22 white guys.
Okay.
Amazing. No women.
I'm pulling up this other cruise.
No women or anyone not white.
Right.
So I found this to be interesting, not just because Nate's has his cruise, but there's another one called This Cruise is Important, which is in reference to This Is Important podcast. Which is Adam Devine, Anders Holm, and Blake Anderson. Those guys?
the IT crowd. It's
those
guys.
No, what's the show you call on Comedy Central?
Workaholics.
That's a different show.
They have a new cruise, I guess. That is, I'll give you the details. And I just find this to be interesting because this is clearly there's a market for this and an interest in it. Those 3 guys are going to be doing it. 3 straight white guys, just for the record, are going to be doing that, featuring those guys and like Bobby Lee, Adam Ray, Nick Swartz, and Sam.
Well, they figured out how to not have all white guys. Yeah. They did it.
Sam J, Annie Lederman, Beth Stelling, Catherine Blanford, Eric Griffin.
Catherine Blanford, our buddy.
That's how I knew about this. I saw her post about it. Brooks Whelan, Brent Morin, Josh Adam Myers, the Action Boys podcast, and then they have live music from a bunch of people and more fun, they said, pickleball and a bunch of other shit. So I just find that it's a meet and greet, so everyone who gets a cabin gets a photo with all the hosts and like
in their cabin.
Yeah. I don't know. So they're going to Cozumel is the whole thing. So I just find it interesting that it used to be, so the idea of cruises used to be a little bit of like, comics going out to pasture kind of thing. Uh-huh. And then I went on to a cruise, and then one of the guys I saw in there was actually on not American Idol, but America's Got Talent.
Yeah, right.
Excuse me, from years ago. I don't know. Now you have these cruises going on. So it sounds like it's kind of cool, maybe cooler. I just think the audiences are usually skew older.
It could be the kind of thing where it's like, so there was like a few years ago, there's this podcast network called Maximum Fun. They actually, which sounds so lame, but they have really funny shows on it, and they
really is the worst name. That was named in 1984, right? Maximum Fun.
Actually, it's like sort of newer-ish.
No, that's what I know, but it sounds like it was named in the 80s.
It surprisingly is very good. They have a lot of really good shows, but
they really push hot dogs.
Not as good as the Queen City Podcast Network.
Obviously not. But so they, I don't know, 10 years ago at this point, they did this. They had a cruise, where they had all the people, and they called it the website. When they were teasing it, they weren't like saying what it was, but they just had a website that was boatparty.biz.
Wow.
Which was just awesome.
Yeah.
And so I think the reason I mentioned that specifically is because I think they were leaning into the inherent sort of corniness of a cruise.
It's how how I see like a lot of people wearing, like young guys are wearing like pastels and socks with Crocs and shit like that to school. It's just like
kind of
it's the uncoolness of it that makes it cool,
right? And
I'm not trying to be funny or cool,
right? And which makes sense for comedy.
Stop for a second. What's wrong with pastel colors?
I guess pastels in the style, like it's like 90s pastel, which it doesn't fit right. It just doesn't look right. Oh, it's just bad style. You know what I'm talking about at all?
You mean like windbreakers? Like, well, yeah, I don't think I'm.
Kind of, yeah. Windbreakers, like higher shorts. Like I said, socks with Crocs.
I hear what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, there's like a certain
those belts that are what are they called? Not like regular belts, but they're like woven belts.
Oh, okay.
You're basically just talking about drunk frat guys in Charleston.
Yeah.
No, but I know what you're saying.
Younger people. I'm thinking about high school and shit.
I know what you're saying. Like there is a certain style that is
leaning away from trying.
Yeah.
That's
right.
It's uncool to try to look and have fashion.
Right. Just like, whatever. I just wear this that I took 3 to 4 hours to come up with.
I'm wearing it ironically.
Yeah, I'm wearing it ironically. Yeah, so that's kind of what it is. I think comedy cruises are like intentionally ironic a little bit.
Got it.
That's the feel of it to me.
Yeah. I know that bands have done it. You know what I mean? It'd be like, Metallica Cruise or whatever.
Actually, you know what's funny? Sugar Ray. Remember that band? They were going to do one, and the boatparty.biz, they did one, and Sugar Ray canceled theirs. So there's like this, they like to brag that they're like, we're the company that canceled Sugar Ray's cruise. They like took credit for it.
Are you guys familiar with Yacht Rock?
Yeah, I've heard the term, Jimmy Buffett.
Oh my God, it's so much fun. Yeah, it's so much more than Jimmy Buffett, but
is it?
It 100% is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of,
Go on.
I just think it's like very funny. Speaking of ironic and like.
Genuinely name one person who's not Jimmy Buffett who is Yacht Rock.
Christopher Cross.
Okay.
Well.
Sailing. That's a great song. It's got a bunch. I think Captain and Tennille are part of that. I think I'll struggle to come up with some more, but like I think like even Air Supply might be part of that. Okay. Like it's just an era. Of what would be construed as sort of somewhat corny, but also talented. You know what I
mean? My uncle has a yacht, like a real yacht. Like think of a yacht. He's got that. It's crazy.
Did he go to Bezos's wedding?
Fucking might Possibly. As well have. And we were on it, and he was literally playing Jimmy Buffett on it. I was like, you are a walking cliche, man. I love that guy, but he's ridiculous.
Yeah. I've never been the biggest Uncle Jimmy Buffett fan.
He bores the shit out of me.
Yeah. Christopher Cross, on the other hand, is really talented. He's pretty great.
I'm not sure if anything is really like lame anymore.
Yeah, everything's on the table, right?
Yeah, because I just think that like there's so many ways to like find a community around whatever it is you're interested in.
True.
Yeah. It's just hard to be like, I don't know, to feel like you're an outsider for liking a certain thing.
That's a really great point. Yeah, you can find your community.
There's a corner of TikTok for you.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And just kind of even because you kind of like have seen that just like they used to say Dancing with the Stars was like the celebrity graveyard, and I think like Kim Kardashian did it.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think anything is like necessarily lame anymore.
That's a good point.
It's kind of great, right? Isn't that?
Can we think of an example? Do you guys have any counter examples?
Being a billionaire
is not
people
cool anymore.
People fucking hate billionaires.
That's true, and people used to think it was awesome.
I love this idea of like I just saw it was a headline. You guys know me, and it was like we're over here drinking with these soggy straws, and it was like 60 some people flew private jets, like however many hours to go to this one wedding, like for no reason at all, and it's like, yep. That's
there was a
horse
list.
Shit.
There was a list of
the amount of wasted food.
One
and
of
gas
my one of my leftist accounts that I follow had a list of all the celebrities that went to Bezos's wedding. It was some surprising people. Sydney Sweeney, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, she was hanging out with Tom Brady, right? Well, I actually really like Tom Brady, but I would say it's a be seen here as opposed to I like this guy or
But I feel like right now you very much don't want to be seen there.
I don't think where we're sitting, we don't know or give a shit, and we don't like them for it. Where they're standing, I think, is a very different thing.
That's my point.
It's so weird.
Because here's the other thing, and I don't think
any
of them are really different outside of fame and celebrity and how that separates you from everybody else more so than the money. I know very wealthy people. I know a couple, and it's more about the celebrity and how they feel disconnected from everybody else because they kind of have to be. So I'll give them this much credit for that aspect of it. Like, I don't know, Sydney Sweeney can probably go to the supermarket, right? But maybe not without backup.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No,
maybe with people. Yeah, sure.
Well, I look at so when Homeland was filmed here, right? Now I know it's not the same. I don't think she's in the same stratosphere, but Claire Danes, she just lived in South End and went about her day.
Claire Danes at one time, though.
Yeah, I mean, there was, I don't know. Because
actually
Sydney Sweeney was here. She was here for all last summer filming.
Was Homeland? Was it? Did you work on the whole show or just season?
First 2 seasons.
So
of 5, I think.
So all 3. Throughout. So like Homeland was already a big show when she was living in South End or whatever.
Yeah, we shot the pilot and everything here.
And she would just go to Lenny Boy or whatever.
Yeah, she lived right by Tiber Creek.
No shit.
And she would go out and people would be like, "Oh yeah, I saw her at Harris Teeter." Huh. And she would be out.
Not Sydney Sweeney though.
Not Sydney Sweeney, but
Homeland was a huge show.
Especially the second season was a mod because the first season we won Emmys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my Emmy certificate in the other room.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Actually kind of badass.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really awesome. That's great.
What the fuck?
I don't actually know. What were we talking? Where is?
Listen, no.
What is this all time?
That's great. But did she ever sell soap made out of her bathroom?
Yeah, she did not. Well, not that I'm aware of.
All right, it's different levels.
I don't know if it was my so-called life era.
Yeah, I was way into her.
Then. She wouldn't have been able to go anywhere.
I think some of that's a little overblown. I think Tom Brady probably struggles to go places. This is like I can go in there without being quote unquote mobbed, as in a bunch of people not allowing you to get through your day, kind of a thing. I think George Clooney is kind of like that. I witnessed that. But I don't think everybody has that.
I guess we're talking about people.
I would be worried about her safety.
Exactly.
Her specifically, her safety, as opposed to Tom Brady.
Yeah. Right. I mean? I guess there's a difference between Sydney Sweeney, Claire Danes.
I have an alarm set. Hang on. Hey, Google, stop. Is that going to do it? Hey, Google, stop all alarms.
How fucking embarrassing.
Speaking of,
how embarrassing for you.
All right, you guys, remember when a moment ago?
He does have to take a medicine.
You remember a moment ago we said that nothing was lame? You want to know what it's really that alarm is for?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Tell us.
I have a new bird feeder that has a camera on it that needs to be charged up before you start using. So that was my alarm.
I need the mic to just really
stop.
I am fucking slapping my knee.
So
that's amazing.
I'm a little red in the face. I got to be honest. I'm a little red.
Please do be.
All right. Anyway.
Shout out to all the birds.
Shout out to all the birds. No, listen, we have a whole anti-list. Let's start a pro list. Birds.
Well, I'm definitely pro birds. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's my nickname? Is Bird.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my dad calls me Bird.
I didn't know that.
The Bird. I've heard my dad say my name.
Because you like to bathe outside?
Correct. In puddles. Yeah, I always says like I've heard my dad say my actual name like maybe 30 times in my life.
No kidding.
Maybe. That seems
Your
high.
Bird.
Yeah, he calls me Bird. Okay. Birdman. My brother is.
Is there an origin to that, or did it just kind of?
I think when I was really, my dad has nicknames. My dad has nicknames for all the kids and my mom and everybody. I think my grandmother, when I was really little, she's like, he's like a bird. My dad's like, he's the bird now.
Oh, well,
he's Birdman.
All right.
Yeah, my brothers. I always joke. I got people in my life who just they don't call me Jason. Isn't that funny? You learn that about people. Like like my uncle passed away, and
Jordan and I just like
he had all these different they had all these different nicknames you didn't know about. So it's almost like different life kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You guys have nicknames?
No.
Not really.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like a teenager, I was like eating all the food in the house. And, like my parents, there was a period where my parents just referred to me as the boy.
I'm not sure that's as much a nickname as it is a shitty thing your parents called you.
As it is your parents seeing you as like an obstacle. It's like, the boy is here. We can't.
Oh, God.
I would, but the boy.
We could be on a yacht, but, the boy is here.
A lot of people, I don't have nicknames.
Were your parents hungry a lot? They're just like, there's no food. The boy keeps eating all the food. He's at it again. You can hear him. That's chips hitting the floor in the kitchen.
Hitting the floor. And that's him hitting the floor to eat the chips off the ground. All right. Sorry. Triggering.
No, it's cool.
I don't know. I don't really have any nicknames. A lot of people on the internet call me a beta.
Oh, yeah. No, they call you a lot on the internet.
They call me a lot
That
of
one
stuff.
actually might stick.
The F word, a lot. A lot of just real confidence that I'm gay on the internet. Just like so much confidence.
Matt Hammy sent me, he's like, hey, Matt Hammy's a comic here in Charlotte. He sent me a post on Facebook. He's like, Jonathan Williams' doppelganger.
Who was it?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to shout that guy out, but it looks exactly like you. And he was doing a lot of teacher material. I was like, who is this?
Motherfucker.
No, he wasn't. I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, Jonathan,
I'm about to throw.
Step it up.
I'm not going to be a beta with this guy.
but not. Give him a stern talking.
I will tell him that I'm slightly upset with him.
Yeah, I have a dissertation for you, sir.
If you'll see subsection B.
Oh man! All right. Do we want to Do we want to keep talking about cruise ships?
Let's keep talking about. That's what we started to do.
I know. I understand how.
I know. Yeah. I just wanted.
We can move on.
I just wanted to actually say and see how it sounded. It sounded great.
Disney. Something happened at the Disney cruise.
Oh shit! Yeah, this was kind of crazy to me. When you hear it, tell me what you guys think about it. It just blew my mind. And talking about testing your metal. There's a cruise ship, right? Disney cruise is going on. Mm-hmm. However it happened doesn't matter. I believe it was a 5-year-old girl, this guy's 5-year-old daughter, fell off the boat.
No.
Within eyeshot of him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Fucking guy went right over after.
Yeah.
You're talking about 2-3 stories up. No, like in the ocean. Guy goes down and finally catches up with her, gets her, and has her.
No.
The boat has to like slow down and turn, and they came back for them. It took, I think eventually they got like a helicopter.
They both survived?
And I believe, I'm pretty like 90% sure they both survived and eventually got him out of the water.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Dude. That's wild to me. I was so impressed by this, not because the guy did it, but just that is a thing that a dad would do. Mm-hmm. That is I'm like,
dude, I am not a brave person.
I think something kicks in probably.
It has to, right?
There is I would not even.
You just do it.
Dream
right?
Like there wouldn't even be a moment of even considering not doing it.
Yeah.
You go. Would go. You would just go. I cannot imagine doing anything else.
Yeah. And because for like people that don't know, when you dive in the water from that height, it's not like they say it's like hitting a brick wall. You could break something
you could absolutely die.
You could knock yourself out.
Yeah.
You could, if you don't hit the right way.
Exactly.
If you landed head first, you probably would die.
You might die
unless you're like a professional who like does that.
Yeah.
I'm not. I wish I had more details about it, but it became obviously a huge thing because I know you guys heard this before, like the guys who were fish up in like the North Atlantic and all that kind of stuff, like
crab
Canada,
fishermen,
up in Alaska. The boat doesn't stop. If you fall, you're done. You're dead. You'll be dead in like 2 minutes or something like that. By the time the boat stopped and turned around, they would never. That's what I heard. It might be lore, but I had heard that like a long time ago.
It sounds likely. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Again, I certainly don't want to think about who I wouldn't jump in for, but I think there's some people I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I'm just like processing the whole thing. Like you see this happen. Like, did more than one person see it and not jump in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you see any 5-year-old and you're like, oh shit, jump in? Or are you just kind of like, I don't know them?
I think a lot of people would.
Right?
For a kid, like a kid.
Right.
If it's like a annoying 12-year-old, maybe not. But like, but if a fucking 2 to 9-year-old falls in, I think a lot of people, if they see it, are jumping in.
Yeah.
Well, even if they don't, I think even people who right now would say they wouldn't, probably would.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but, and I'm not even saying like people are so awesome. I'm just saying like you see, like that's just.
I think there's certainly time and place when people kind of rally around each other and do amazing things like that. Like that to me was just still processing. Can you imagine watching that and then watching the dad go over and then you're like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Like, you don't call 911.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you do on a boat.
International waters.
How do you get to the captain?
I was about to say that'd be the only thing I could think of.
It's got to be buttons.
You
would think there's probably buttons.
Tell them to stop
right?
the boat. Send out one of the little dinghies or whatever.
Yeah. They sent out one of the bigger ones apparently, and I don't think it wasn't a dinghy. It was like a friggin' boat. They had to slow the boat down enough to get it into the water to go see if they were even alive. And it's pretty wild, man. It was a bizarre.
It's got to be buttons, right?
I would think. So there was this other thing. It reminded me of this other, and I've seen this on TikTok. You guys have all probably seen it. There was like, I don't know where the country was, but they weren't speaking English. But there was a pipe going into the ground. Like imagine a well, but it was like a pipe or whatever. And apparently there was a little girl stuck in there, right? Which is a nightmare just in itself, right?
Yeah.
And they're just trying to figure out.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
And then so they have this young kid. He's probably like 12 or 13 or something like that. But he's like kind of a skinny kid. They get a crane out. They wrap his legs up and all that. And he goes straight down into the well to get the girl out. And apparently it's deep. And it's the risk of sending this other child in there. Mm-hmm. and getting stuck and whatever, but he pulls the other.
See, that's where
pulls
your
the girl
mind
out.
goes. I watch horror movies too much. I'm thinking that's a demon down there. Ain't no real girl. That boy coming back.
God, yeah, that's terrifying. Yeah, the thought of all that to me is just like it's crazy, man. But it's really funny, the idea. What if it was just a joke?
Dude,
a joke. Yeah,
you just punch.
Just thinking about that makes me panic. Just the small spaces thing going in there. I can't.
No, not me. I'm
like,
thick.
I'm like, how much? I'm right now. I'm being like, how much do I love my daughter?
Wait, hold on. So that
I would, but
you got.
But that would be
I would test.
If anything could stop my love,
it's the whale.
It would be small spaces.
I don't know.
Nothing would stop it.
I would be more
Nora,
quick
but
to like do the whale than like jumping into the ocean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would. We're gonna have to get a light. Let me verify this as a kid, and then as long as you tie me up, I'll fine.
It does depend how tight of a space we're talking. Like how
Dude,
what are we looking?
It was tight, man.
Are we looking at like?
I think they were greasing his hips, man. I mean, it was not
that tight.
Yeah, it was. I was impressed, man. And I don't know how she fell in. Imagine her experience. I don't know how deep that goes. What's at the bottom?
Yeah,
upside down
also,
or right side
how
up?
did she fall in and survive? And was she just laying there like head down?
Yeah, I don't know. I know that it's an absolute nightmare scenario in every possible way. Having these on my head right now is making me feel a little claustrophobic. If I'm honest, I hate it. Ugh.
Yeah, that's my number one thing. I'm sure I've told you guys probably.
Yeah,
more
we don't
than,
have to bring it up.
Probably more than once about the MRI, right?
Oh,
I
no.
told you guys
Yes,
about my MRI.
you did. Yeah, you got stuck.
I tell
in
you.
there.
You got stuck in it?
No, I didn't. No, you made a story up, and that's not what happened. I never got stuck in an MRI.
All right, well, what happened?
But no, I had to
called
get
you
it.
out. He just called you a little bitch without saying
No. I sounded like way more of a dick than I'm into on that. I was just like, no. But what happened was I had to get an MRI because my back was all messed up a few years ago, and
someone blew it out.
We don't talk about that.
Was it Frank Ocean?
The internet was Frank Ocean. If it was anyone, it was Frank Ocean.
Got that song?
Yeah, that's Nights is about me. But so I went to get the MRI, and I was really nervous because I was like, I don't think this is gonna go good. And I went in there into the room, and I saw it. And the lab tech was right there, and I looked at him. I was like, "I'm not going in there."
Yeah.
I was like, "There's no way I'm going in that."
Yeah.
And I think he was instantly very annoyed with me, which I get.
Yeah. I think they deal with that a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure. And he was like, "Well, did you check on the form that you are claustrophobic?" I was like, "I absolutely did." He's like, "Well, they should have given you a Valium." I was like, "They absolutely did not." And he was like, "All right, well, we'll just kind of let's just try it. Why don't you just kind of get on the thing? We'll just kind of conveyor belt you in there and just see how you feel. All right." And he was like, "And when we do it, don't worry. I'll just be in the next room." And I'm like, "You're not even gonna be in here?" And he's like, "No, I'll just be right over there." I was like, "No, I can't be alone in here."
Yeah.
And he was talking about how we're close. I'm like, "It closes?
Does it close?
I think. Wait, am I making
I don't
that
know.
up?
No.
Does it close?
I don't know.
Who's making it up now?
Fair enough. But
You can't go hard at him like that.
But yeah, whatever. Anyway, so maybe that is the thing or not. But so I was like, "All right, dude, fine." And at this point, I was kind of just humoring him.
Yeah.
But
knowing full well, you're like, this ain't gonna
I
work.
was like, "There's no way." But I was just like, "All right, let's see. Maybe I'll surprise myself." So I got on the thing, and they started lowering me. Not lowering me. I can't want to say lowering me, but
drawing you in.
Yeah. I'm going on the thing, and it got to about my nose, and I was like, "Nope."
Yeah.
Because it's
How
right.
Yeah, it's right there.
It's
right?
it's I mean, the way I remember it, it's right there, but it's probably right there.
Yeah. 4 or 5 inches above your
no
nose.
fucking way.
Yeah.
And so I came out. He came back out on the little conveyor belt, and I sat up, and he saw my face, and he goes, "Oh." you're serious.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. And then he was like, well, we have this other thing. I was like, you have a different thing? Why didn't you lead with that?
They have a new like open one. Is what I've
it's
heard.
like, well, it wasn't that. It was, there is that, but it was like a weird like sitting up one. Mm-hmm. And like my shoulders were like stuck, but that was fine. But like, he told me it was going to be like a 2-week wait. And mind you, I was in excruciating pain.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, I will deal with this pain for as long as I need to. I'm not going in there.
Yeah. And just like closing your eyes and just letting it all happen doesn't, you just know it.
Not.
You just know
absolutely
it's
not. Yeah. No, there is literally the only thing that would get me in there is saving my child's life.
Yeah.
That is and even then I would be panicking like a motherfucker. But like, and I was leaving, and he was like, "Oh wait, actually, I think we can get you in right now." I was like, "All right, great."
Oh, nice.
Which was awesome, but it was just like
nice.
I went through all that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So I know how to prank you now moving forward.
If you want to stop being friends, and I might.
That's how I have to do it.
I might actually try to kill you if you do that. In fact, like that, when I was in high school, we were doing a thing that we called condom wrestling. Me and my friends.
No, just say make sure the mic.
Yeah.
We want to get it clean.
Yeah.
Condom wrestling.
Okay.
Which was because we were like 4-year-olds.
No one says pause there.
And do
I not know how to play this game?
Sometimes it's so blatant.
That's a given. So what it was is we would go into sleeping bags head first and wrestle each other like 2 sleeping bags. And so which that's there's that.
What do they call you online?
Yeah. Beta, cuck,
There
F word, like libtard. But so someone, setting that aside, I know that's maybe the bigger story is that I did a thing called condom wrestling, but the part that's notable to me because it is burned into my memory forever is that I was in one of the sleeping bags and someone thought it would be real funny to grab the other end and close it. And I started, I was like, get me the fuck out. Like y'all have not seen, no one, very few people in my life have ever seen what
Red Ross.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Friends reference.
But no one has ever seen.
Oh,
I get it.
Okay.
But no one has ever seen this version of me. Very few. I was like, get me the fuck out of here. And like and I got out and again they saw my face and I looked around. Everyone was frozen. They were like scared, and I was like, "Don't ever fucking do that again, or I will fucking kill you."
You're so
like
12 years old. It's amazing.
It was this. It's so scary, dude.
Yeah.
I get it.
For me,
your description of all that was adorable.
Yeah, that's fine. But I truly, if someone had done that to me again, I would have fought them.
Yeah, you fight them. That's the answer.
Oh my god!
You should have punched somebody then.
Well, no, because we were all dorks, dude. We were all dorks who do a thing called condom wrestling. So everyone was very.
There was no explanation necessary.
Everyone was immediately like, "Oh man, sorry,
guys, we went too far.
Guys, we went too far. That's right.
We really went too far on this one, guys."
There was a huge. There was a blanket sentiment of, "Oh shucks, we shouldn't have done that." Not to good old Jonathan.
Yeah. Doesn't that hurt when you realize you went too far? You're like, oh
yeah,
man.
it was.
Yeah,
I bestowed shame upon 6 or 7 people at the same time.
Yeah,
it was a powerful feeling in a way.
Can we end this first half of this?
We can. We are going to lock this first half into a tight space called a memory card.
Not even as a joke.
And we will be back with more zoning out, probably a would you rather, something like that.
Yeah.
Be back after the break.
Be safe, everybody. Don't get stuck.
All right, everybody. We are back to Zoning Out. We're back. Presented by the Comedy Zone. We got a good B block for you. You know, we got a couple would you rathers coming up. Those are fun if you enjoy those. But first, we didn't even tell you about the shows that we had this past weekend. Yeah. So Jason decided to be with his family. So Jonathan,
I did nothing. I did nothing but drink and eat and go on the boats and sit in the sun. It was amazing. Yeah. So yeah.
So Jonathan and I, we had a productive weekend.
We did.
Actually, doing the thing that we care about.
Yeah.
I care about my family,
time with family.
Yeah, no. We actively drove away.
Listen, I would save my daughter on a cruise ship. I don't want to hang out with her, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She knows. She knows.
But no, Jonathan and I, we had a show in Columbus, Georgia at the Loft. So shout out to them. It was 2 shows, 7:30 and 9:30.
And the staff, they got great staff there. Great bartender.
Staff. They do have great staff.
Athena's great down there.
Staff.
Yeah, just some would say Greek goddesses.
Greek goddess. Yeah, I would agree.
Literal name. Athena.
Yeah.
Greek god as well.
Yeah. But no, the first show was great.
The first show was great.
And as me and Jonathan said, the second show happened.
The second show occurred.
Because when we did it, the second show didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Which sounds like the better choice.
And Jordan and I were both actively hoping.
We were because we had already committed to drive. I showed Jonathan the like heavy duty energy drink I bought. For the drive back. I committed to getting us back.
I want to go on record in saying that I advised against the drive back.
You honestly, let me tell you.
I just knew Jordan was driving, so I was like, your call, man.
Yeah. Also, we made a few bad decisions.
By the way, that I haven't seen any of that money from that we have saved from not using the hotel.
Wait, what do you mean?
The whole reason that we didn't.
They didn't pay you?
No, isn't there? Don't we like? Did that factor? Oh, was that part like the us not using money to?
Yeah, I think they included the hotel buyout in the check, so we were supposed to. Yeah,
lame.
Yeah, no.
I was hoping a little extra money was coming.
No, that is the that was it.
Yeah,
man.
But no, we made like a couple bad decisions. We had McDonald's twice.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What? What? I thought we were never going to speak of that.
You guys do road trips different than I do.
Yeah.
I thought that was eternally a secret.
Yeah, we shouldn't have. We probably should have mentioned it.
Wow.
Yeah. So much
that would have made a road trip impossible. Actually, that would have been it. Like I can't eat that twice.
So hard. The first McDonald's stop. We sat down and ate. We sat in the McDonald's.
Yeah, we ate. We had a dining experience.
Wow.
Yeah, at the McDonald's.
Tiny little
somewhere in South
Carolina.
Little
napkins that we refuse to sop up any liquid whatsoever.
I dabbed the corners of my mouth with the napkins. That's how much it was a meal.
Wow. What'd you get, guys?
I don't remember.
I got the crispy chicken, the McChicken meal.
Oh yeah, it sounds tasty.
Yeah, no, it was. the Coke was flat. I didn't like that.
Oh,
flat
man, come on! Everybody knows you got to get the Sprite at McDonald's. It's that McDonald's Sprite, baby.
Actually, I agree with that.
It is
and the fries for sure.
They put some drugs in there because I think it's just more syrup. I think they just put more.
Yeah, it's definitely more not food.
Yeah. Oh, I just mean specific. McDonald's Sprite is a thing. It's like a known thing.
I totally get it,
and it is correctly.
It
is correctly revered.
And
honestly, I had more McDonald's in the span of that 12 hours than I had probably within the past 5 years.
Wow. Oh wow!
Like I'd really gotten.
It's like a monthly occurrence for me.
Yeah,
I'd say something like that.
But no, me and Jonathan were really wishing it was just one show that night because that second show we didn't leave until probably 11:30 because Jonathan lost his book bag twice because he was drunk. And it's a bright book bag.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
You absolutely.
No, I didn't lose my backpack. I thought I had lost my check. Which it was in my backpack.
And did you have your backpack at that time?
No, this is dumb.
We're dipping into not a good hang territory is what it sounds like. I don't know. How we doing? You guys okay? Was there a moment where you guys couldn't talk? Did that happen?
Nah. Well, there was a moment that we couldn't talk.
It's happening
because
now.
I got a little delirious on the drive back. For everybody
yeah, you said some shit at one point where I was like, "Are we gonna die?"
Yeah, and I could tell by your reaction. I was like, "Oh, wait."
I just kind of was
I think I'm losing it.
I was just kind of like, I think maybe I think I took comfort in just sort of assuming that I misunderstood.
Yeah, no,
but it turned out that you said some weird shit. What
I don't even remember what Jonathan asked me, but I said something about the bee emoji.
yeah. Shit, what was it? Oh my god! And I'm gonna try and remember. Let's not try and remember right now. But
I have no idea what the question, but it was like as soon I could tell by his reaction. He was like, "Oh yeah, cool." And I was like, "Oh wait a minute, nah, what'd you ask me again?" And that's what I was like, "Oh nah, we gotta pull over.
We gotta stop."
Fuck, what was it?
That's so great.
It had nothing to do with bees or emojis.
Nothing. Well, we pulled over. I took a nap at like what was it? Quick Trip?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Like a 15-minute nap.
I wanted to go to Sheetz to get a Big Mott's burger.
We were having
those are two of my favorites.
Sheets.
Quick Trip and Sheetz.
Yeah, we couldn't find a Sheetz.
Yeah.
Sheets are like they're like across the state as opposed to south.
It's like there's like the Quick Trip Sheetz thing is like it's like drug dealers. They're like this is my territory. This is your territory.
Yeah. It's exactly like drug dealers. Just for the record. Speaking of McDonald's, that's really interesting. Yeah, Quick Trip is all right. They're good too. I like
Sheetz
them.
is better though.
Yeah, I mean it's not like it's a Love. Did you guys go to a Love's?
We didn't go.
We
to a
didn't
Love's.
buy it. We didn't
go
step.
to a Love's.
No, are you sure?
I'm not sure.
I think we did on the way there.
Doesn't sound like either one of you were
certainly not sure.
I think we stopped at Love's on the way there.
Okay.
I don't think we.
Did you see any
No double L's?
reptiles?
No, we
Well,
didn't.
I mean, we also didn't go to the right part. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah,
like you probably
there's the trucker part.
There's the trucker part. That's two different worlds.
It is a different
There
world.
literally is signs. It's
There's
like
family,
trucks
and then
go
there's
here,
like-
cars go
Yeah,
here.
okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, what do they call the rectangle box with the light that the reptiles go in?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, the aquarium. That's like the aquarium over there.
There's like heat lamps.
yeah.
It's because they're cold blooded, guys. It's because they're cold blooded.
Yeah, that's your behind.
Yeah.
We were there.
I was just
I hope
wanted to
that
use
woman
that
in
term.
Greensboro hears this section.
Seriously.
Oh God.
Oh, did you know that I knew Love's was like a thing and it was big and everything, but they were the main sponsor of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Mm-hmm. It's on their jersey in the NBA Finals. I was like, Love's, look at you.
Yeah, that's great.
Look at y'all are doing it.
I wonder why. Just because I know it's probably a great marriage.
I didn't I didn't know
words,
that Love's was like I don't know. I
that
just don't-
big?
Yeah,
That big
I
of
guess
a-
it is.
Oh
but,
yeah, no, it is
Yeah.
huge.
I think I thought of it being like very big, but like regional. But I guess not, because Oklahoma is.
Well, I was about to say it
Over
could
there.
be.
Yeah.
I mean, if I found out that they were headquartered in Oklahoma, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I could
yeah.
easily see that being the case.
Oh, but I mean that's at least two regions though: Southwest and South.
I was just kind of thinking about this. Well, yeah, sure. Anyway, to all the comedians out there are thinking about taking a road trip after their show at like 11:30 at night.
Do it.
I'm not going to tell you not to do it.
Don't be a coward. Play like a champion.
I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but just be mindful. It's a long drive.
Yeah, you hit a point.
You really have to be careful.
Yeah, you hit a point.
After show driving, man. I don't know. It's not worth it. Was that second show worth it for you guys to take that risk?
You act like we had a choice.
Yeah.
If we could have, there was an option to opt out. I think we both would.
Oh, we had a choice to stay, but we did not have a choice to cancel.
Oh, that's
the
what you
second
meant.
show.
Yeah. Look, but we had a plan. We did, because I even told Jonathan, like, look, we're going to stop twice.
Okay.
Because we got to get some fresh air, let the CO2 out of the car, like all that. I planned it.
And the farts.
Yeah. You seem very thorough. Yeah, I get it.
That first stop was at McDonald's.
I definitely, yeah.
When I was like, I'd say the last hour-ish, I was starting to nod off. I fell asleep, in and out of consciousness. And every time I sort of dipped back into consciousness, I was like, I hope we don't die.
Yeah.
And then I would sort of fall
because
asleep
that last
again.
hour up,
and then,
up 77 is bleak.
Yeah.
There's not much. That's the way you came, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, from Columbia to Charlotte to like even Southern Charlotte it's bleak. That 77, there's nothing.
Dude, you guess what time we got back?
Yeah, we talked about it before. It was almost 6, right?
Yeah, it's like 5:45.
Yeah, because you got home and was about to go to sleep.
Oh my God. I went home and I knew like Nora was going to be with me that day, and I had already taken I had already taken off work preemptively. And
what time was she showing up?
Well, that's
where
we're going with this. I assumed that that her mom would drop her off at like 7 something, 8 something like that.
Nothing about this is good.
And so I was like, I was about to text her and say, "Hey, the front door is gonna be unlocked. I gotta sleep, whatever." And right before I sent her that text, I was in bed. I was literally taking my pants off, like to go to sleep. And I got a text from her mom, like, "Hey, can you pick her up at 8?" I was like, "God damn it!"
Jeez.
I was in bed, like eyes closing, and then I was like, "Yep, leaving now."
Holy shit!
And then I went and picked her up our back and was like, "You can do literally whatever you want. I'm going to sleep."
Oh, that's so funny.
You're like, you can go to McDonald's twice. Honey.
She was like, "Can I watch TV?" I was like, "Yes, you absolutely can."
Wow.
Yeah, that's a I still had to work a half day too.
Did you?
Yeah. So I got probably 2 hours of sleep also.
Can I be honest, guys?
Sure.
Can we all just concede that the drive back was the dumbest thing you guys could have done?
No, because we made it.
No, nothing about that sounds like it was a positive.
I disagree.
Everything to me was like, Jordan's like, "I want to do this." I was like, "You're driving, so okay."
What, you guys saved $40?
Probably a little more than that. Because I checked the Airbnb the day before. They were like 100.
Yeah.
Okay, 50.
I'm like, maybe $50.
50, and we didn't die. So
yeah, there we go.
Oh boy,
that's a dub.
Yeah.
I'm being supportive.
Again, I know.
I wouldn't necessarily.
I'm trying to influence you guys in the future.
No, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it again.
Yeah.
I want to be a good influence.
Just
to
consider you had so much to do the next day. Like, I just wouldn't have done it
well,
for that.
And so that was kind of the original plan, because I told Jonathan, all right, look, checkout time was going to be at 11 or 12, so I'm going to bring my work laptop. My half day was going to be in the hotel room, and then we'll drive back
there you go.
that. That was the plan. And then I found out they gave us a hotel buyout in the check. So I was like, oh, so you mean to tell me now you're giving me the option to save money? Well,
yeah. I'm usually up for, the money. Don't get me wrong, but
what's your
I just
price?
Driven enough.
What's your price? How much money would have to be added? How much money would have to be at stake for you to be like, all right, I'm doing this?
Got to be honest, man. I'm
$500.
I'm. This is gonna sound like a weirder flex or whatever, but I've been working in gig work for 20 some years.
Okay.
It's got to be
$500.
Yeah, I mean maybe $500 would do it, but it's a lot of money.
Okay.
The idea of like, I'm just gonna drive back. Like now, I do shows where, like in Florida, I'll go get a hotel the night before and drive halfway so that I'm not trying to drive 9 hours and then do a show. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not 20.
I appreciate your apology.
I'm not apologizing to you specifically, but it's like, that's crazy, man. You're not going to drive 9-10 hours and do a show. The show's not going to be good. I'm not going to be my best. I would rather have a good show and make less money, which is dumb. Don't get me wrong. But also the safety aspect of that. And I drive my we didn't fly places. We drove to fucking Texas. Took us like 38 hours or some shit. Like we drove everywhere, so I know.
Not a flying family,
and we're kind of like, safety is actually kind of an important thing. You might take it seriously. So to me, I'd rather, spend a little money to do it safely and to have a good time, as opposed to muscling through, which I've also done. But it's like I opt not to do that more often than not, and especially not for $50. No offense. I mean, you guys. For what it's worth.
I was in the passenger seat, so
yeah. I mean, it's less on you.
Okay. No, I'll take it. I'll take that.
But it's $50. I mean, I really do think
nice
that
car,
the
too.
idea of
Thank you.
It is a nice car. I do love that car. I think it for me it's like an age thing too. Like if I was like 25, it's not even a question.
Yeah.
Like you drive, it's fine. I would probably not drink. Smart things like that. But the idea of
Jordan was plastered.
Yeah, I know. He's a thirsty dude.
just, stumbling to the car.
Yeah. Do you guys...
At a certain point, I was steering.
Yeah.
His eyes were closed.
Can we do like a silly one, guys? I got a would you rather that I think would be really
go
silly.
for it.
Also, we recorded a podcast episode.
Sure.
That was the whole point of bringing
on the drive.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, we put
on the drive back.
mics on the drive back.
Yeah.
When do we get to hear this? Because I know we talked about maybe it being like a whatever.
Whatever. We can put it up whenever.
Yeah, we can release it as just a bonus episode, or if we want to save it for a week we have to skip for whatever reason. We got it.
All right, we'll think about this.
Yes,
we're gonna think about it because it might be next week because I got shows on Tuesday. So
all right, yeah, there you go.
We might do that. We'll think about that.
All right,
because I think everyone would want to hear that.
What if? Because have you listened to it?
No.
What if we listen back to it and there's like a whole period where it turns out we were both asleep?
Dude, that'd be so scary.
That would
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, wait.
There's like a minute and a half of just silence.
That would freak me out. Yeah, that would change some things. That would change some things. I forgot there is one part because Jonathan was still drunk and he insisted we pulled over. No, I had to get gas and Jonathan decided to take like a pee break. But Jonathan, we are pulled over somewhere.
I'm listening to that. I don't remember this.
We are pulled over somewhere in like backwoods, Georgia. And this is like, a small town because the gas station was closed. No lights were on.
Yeah.
But you know how it is. Like the gas pump still works.
Sure, yeah.
So I pull up, I get gas. Jonathan gets out, just walks into
right.
the pitch.
Walk into the darkness.
Nothing.
And just went, I assume I peed. I don't.
Yeah. And again, it's like a setup of a horror movie because he still has his lav mic on. And once you get past a certain range, it just cuts off.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at the receiver and I only see my mic. And I'm like, man.
Oh, really?
Please. Yeah. And I was like, Jonathan, please, you could not. Please.
You're like, I'm going to get blamed for this shit.
Yeah. I'm going to get blamed.
It's that privilege confidence, baby.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can go anywhere.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking. Like, man, I'm going to get blamed for this white man.
You're absolutely going to get
because if the options are go into the dark to find you or leave.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm gonna go get help.
There's gonna be so many. There would be so many people like we all thought Jordan was such a nice guy. That would be.
What would you be more afraid of? Like going to like a city that you knew was like real bad, or like going way into the country where you're like it's gonna be scary because it's weird, or like what you hear about a violent place in Mexico. Or like the middle, they're here in parts of Middle East that are like they don't like American. What would be the scariest place that would be acceptable?
Unattended, I think that place. I think going somewhere where I don't know the language, there is at least a belief, whether true or not, that there is hostility towards just me, just being
even
there
China,
at all.
Even China, which is that people go to China all the time. Like the fear of like worst case scenario there.
Yep.
I have a cousin who's a white movie star in China. Ever tell you guys about this?
What?
No.
Yeah, he literally was in. He was in the most expensive Chinese film ever made, which was a massive flop.
Oh, boy.
Like to the point that the government pulled it from theaters.
Was it called Chinese Hulk?
Uh-huh.
No, I kind of remember it was like a fish person.
I don't remember.
Okay,
but he was like fourth on the call sheet.
Wow, yeah. Fourth is pretty high.
Yeah, something like that. But so the reason I bring that up because China doesn't scare me because if he's any indication, if you go to a city in China where like most cities there, I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but like most cities there, mostly all people who are ethnically Chinese. And he was like a celebrity just by being there. Like people were like, "Oh my God," you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like his experience is painting my idea of.
Is he tall?
Is
he a tall guy?
Oh, he's tall. He's hot.
Yeah.
He's like he's frustrating.
I won't go to China because I think I would show up in China to be like, "Oh, is it? He's just like he's our size. What the fuck?"
That's really funny.
They'd be like,
dude,
like, this is really exciting.
That's something, man. Write that down. That's really fucking funny.
You'd be like, this American's coming to
Oh
watch.
my
He's
God.
Gonna be, all right.
Nothing. It's not a real one.
It's
not a real one. That's insane.
Jesus.
Sorry, I yes-anded too hard.
No, I love it. That's great. Right. You'll hear that on stage in the next 3 months.
Jason, that's really good, dude.
Which would you rather? Would you rather?
Oh. Yeah, man. All right. So I like them both, but all right. So I'm gonna do this one. All right. So would you rather?
Where's the box? I want to shout out the person again.
Oh yeah, go. I think it's right there on the table. Yeah. Should I have to wait for him now? So, all right. You run by this first. Would you rather be turned into a monkey for a day or an eagle?
And wait, is this a trick question? I'm gonna do an eagle. 1,000%. 1,000%.
Would you rather be turned into a monkey for a day or an eagle?
Someone DM'd me the other day and said that I was they called me an insult that I've never heard before. Mm-hmm. They called me a leftist white privilege monkey. I was like, that is a confusing combination of words.
Yeah, it is confusing.
And I didn't understand their point at all, but that just made me think of that.
I think you're kind of right.
Yeah, Eagle sounds kind of like
great.
the clear choice, except how many do monkeys swing on vines and shit?
Yeah.
I think so.
A lot of them do. There's certain ones that I'm not going to remember any of the names that are much more sort of, I'll just say tree dwelling, that are like a little smaller, that are more.
That would be kind of sick.
Like gorillas, for instance, are they're not that they don't go in trees. I don't think that's normally their.
I think they actually do live in like that's what they're like.
I think they do, but I think the monkeys that I'm thinking
they don't do all that. That's not what I'm thinking of either.
So, but I think you're kind of right. My first glance, I was like, oh yeah, that's like a fun idea. What would be the more?
So I'm just trying to.
Because something like if you're an eagle, you don't have arms and legs. You can't do all the shit that we're familiar with, but you can fly.
You can fly.
Yeah.
You also just devil's advocate a little bit because I'm leaning towards eagle as well, but I think like eagles are like they're like solo. You know what I mean? I mean they probably have like whatever a group of eagles is called, but they're like doing their thing. They're flying around.
I think it's a platoon.
That can't be right.
It's not. A platoon of eagles. Would be fucking awesome.
Honestly, there's so many dumb ones. Know. That might be
Oh my god! You know what my favorite one to this day is?
A butthole of squirrels. There's so many dumb.
It's awesome. One of my favorite one. This is a real thing, and I do have a joke about that I haven't done in a while. I'm just remembering it. This is real. A group of pandas is called an embarrassment.
Oh, God,
I like that.
That's real.
I like that.
That's hysterical.
I'm into that.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
But I like the idea of them all just looking up and just all being embarrassed. Just all have little red rosy cheeks.
Yeah. They're the worst.
That is cute.
They're the best.
Yeah.
I love
worst. Yeah, but okay, so the cool thing about monkey is you get to be in like a whole ecosystem of stuff. Mm-hmm. Not that eagles can't, but you know what I mean? Like you're like in the jungle. There's like, oh shit, there's a fucking panther and some snakes and
and they're usually
frogs.
They're throwing sticks at leopards and shit like that, jumping out of the way. Have you seen that? They're insane.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
Oh my god!
But
they go and they pinch them and then they run away and leopards.
Are they just fucking with them?
Oh my god!
Just for fun?
100%.
Okay, it's so kind of monkey maybe then.
I don't think monkeys are like the best, but I would say because everyone thinks they're the funniest. I kind of find them very annoying. Just as a leopard, but they do that kind of shit. They're constantly they'll like grab their nuts and shit. They like fucking do all kinds of crazy stuff.
All right,
it's
monkeys,
so funny.
Monkeys winning for me right now because you just get to be mischievous.
Yeah,
eagles are so serious. Yeah. They're just like I'm gonna swoop down.
Always with a furrowed brow. Yeah, that's right.
I'm going.
The flying thing is sort of why
flying is kind of big,
eagle,
but swinging vine to vine.
Yeah,
I can't do that currently.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Currently. All right, would this change anything? I was thinking about this. Would this change anything? You have knowledge of being a person. Okay. You get to do this for 3 days. Sun up, you turn into a monkey. Sun down on the third day.
For me, it's...
But I'm getting to it.
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
Is you actually taste the food you eat.
So like you taste it, but with human taste buds and understanding of what you're.
Yes.
And that's only if you choose the monkey part.
Both parts.
I might just take a pass on the whole thing then, because that sounds nasty.
Right. So, but some monkeys are just.
Well, no.
Some of them eat fruit and shit.
Okay.
Sometimes they eat bugs.
Yeah, eagles. You're eating dead
fish.
You're eating shit and
snakes and squirrels.
It dies by you like chewing it or something, or slamming it into a rock. I don't know what they do, but
yeah,
some of all that.
If that's the case, then yeah, I would be a monkey and I'll just like eat some fruit for 3 days.
Yeah, thoughts?
Yeah,
little bugs and shit.
Yeah, that sounds like it all. Again, everything about monkey just sounds fun.
Yeah.
And like weird and cool, and you can like I didn't even know about you can nut tap fucking leopards. That's amazing.
You can pull that shit up online.
I would do that monkeys, all the time.
You type in monkeys fucking with other animals and just spend your night.
That is funny.
Yeah, monkeys kind of becoming a clear winner for me. Actually,
not bad.
Flying, love that. That would be nice. Flying would be great, but it sounds especially if I have to like have my taste buds.
But just let's go a little positive with the eagles. Being an eagle would be like turning into a vampire. Your vision and your like sounds and all that you are like superhuman. Not that you're not as a monkey, but like you're
not
flying in the sky and like you're like fucking. All right, so with the taste bud thing, right? You understand what you're eating. What animal would you choose to be for 3 days, knowing that food is a thing?
Actually, you know what? Okay, so I hear you with the food thing, but now that I'm thinking about it, if it's only for 3 days, I'm still going with eagle. Because at the end of we can't swing from vines, but we got like monkey bars. And like you can kind of replicate to a degree like swinging from something.
Okay.
What can you do that's going to be like flying?
Fly.
Not...
I like that you already said it, and I just acted like I said it too.
Okay. But I get it though.
Yeah,
what
would really
the fear of falling wouldn't exist.
It's a major plus.
Yeah.
If we could upgrade the
get one
monkey,
of those Red Bull suits.
Okay, yeah. If you got the money for it,
you got the money and the skill and the absolute death wish.
Yeah. Some of those are
that is wild.
Some of those are pretty rough.
Those things where they go and like go through like a rock formation with a hole in it. I'm like, what? You're broken.
Don't pull up Rex.
Your brain.
Ooh. Don't look at those.
Ooh. Pull up Rex.
Yeah. Oof. Those kind of wrecks, like they're pretty nasty.
I'm gonna guess they don't survive.
They don't.
Oh no, I don't.
Because what you don't realize is that those are just cliffs after cliffs. It's like you fall, you die, you fall.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you're going like 80 miles an hour.
I assume. I've always just kind of assumed. That's one of those things where it's like free solo climbers. You know how most free solo climbers die? From doing free solo climbing.
Yeah. I saw this video.
That's how they all die.
This guy, it was like something about, it was like just vibes or something like that. And then it was this older gentleman who was climbing, and it was like 300 meters high. And he was just looping around, free soloing. He looked like a hippie who just was like, I'm going to climb that. He's never climbed shit before. I was like, that guy's definitely dead. He's no longer with us.
You get like, if you're a genius at it, you get like 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie Free Solo that y'all ever watch.
I can't watch it.
Yeah, it's a tough watch, man. The guy's amazing. He's like brilliant, and he has like a pretty remarkable mind.
He's got a brain problem though.
Yes, he has a remarkable and fucked brain for sure. Right. Totally. And he's just talking like all his friends. That's how they die. They just. Yeah. So, and he's talking to his girlfriend in one scene. Yeah, again, this is a documentary. This is not a fictional film. He's talking to his girlfriend about it. And he's just like, yeah, I mean, that's like how I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And she's like, are you listening to yourself right now? Are you just sitting here saying this to my face? That's how you're going to die? And you just want me to be cool with that?
Right.
Like, do you realize how fucked up that is for you to say to me? And he's just like, well, I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah. It's not like you're a surfer.
Yeah.
It's not like every surfer is like, I'm eventually going to get eaten by a shark.
Yeah,
it's eventually going to happen. Yeah. It's like, what? No, get out of the water. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was fully on her side on that one. I was just like, you can't just act like that's okay.
So my friend, she's a rock climber, right? So she's been doing it for a long time or whatever. And the
with
highest,
ropes?
Yeah, with ropes, obviously. She's done 300 feet is what she told me. That was her highest one. And I was like, do you ever just like get up to a certain point and just freak out? And her answer blew me away. She was like, oh yeah, all the time. I was like, fucking what?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, they get to a certain point and you have these like reality moments of like where you are, how high you are, fear of like I might not be able to make it. I could make a mistake. All this
Part
shit,
of it is
like,
probably,
what are you talking about?
You know, I'm gonna guess, not being one of those people, and I never will be, but I'm gonna guess part of it is, part of the dread, part of the panic is, I chose this.
Yeah.
You know,
God,
that's
yeah.
got to be part of the panic. Is like, I made this. I'm here because of me.
It's like getting a bad tattoo.
Yeah.
Like, oh right. God, I did this.
Yeah,
to me.
and you can't blame it on anyone else.
Yeah.
You can't. You did that.
The idea of the panic subsiding and you just go about your day with the climbing and shit to me is like, I don't know. I saw this one. These I think it was 3 people. They were climbing a butte, right? And it's just Red Rock formation, right?
Okay.
Those ones.
It's like a real tall, skinny mountain.
Yeah, this one in particular was like, I'm sort of making it up, but if it was the size of this rug,
okay,
like 12 feet by like 8 feet or whatever, and like 150 feet or some shit like that, it was straight up.
That just seems like it's just gonna tip over.
Yeah. Even if it was twice the size
erosion,
of that.
maybe
But I
it
know
will.
for a fact that the top of it was not. So there's a scene, right? And someone's filming this.
Sorry, what is this again?
It was like a
documentary?
National Geographic or whatever.
Gotcha.
They were
Gotcha.
following these guys, right? So they get 3 of them get up to the top of this thing. They can, all 3 of them, they're like, it was a drone or something was filming them. They were like arms around each other like, hey, we made it. We're fucking crazy people. There was this little section about half the size of the top thing that was a little higher, right? That was probably 8 feet. I'm going to say 8 feet because they couldn't quite reach it. And one of them was like, I'm going to get up there. At this point, based on my memory of this, they weren't connected like anymore. They were just standing up at the top of this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And the guy was like jumping to try to reach the top of it. And he kept missing and would fall back down to them.
God's up there just like, dude, I helped you like 6 times that you don't even know about.
Stop
I helped you so many times and you don't even know. Stop it.
Yes.
I'm going to focus. I have other shit to do today.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I can't spend all my time making sure you don't fall. You
He
little
eventually
bitch.
reaches
I said
it.
bitch again. My bad.
There it is. 1 for 3.
Yeah.
He eventually gets it and he can barely stand on the top of it. That's how narrow this part is. And he gets up and he stands at the top and he's just standing up there. Like, that is such a different mental state.
I don't get it, man. I really
it's
don't.
wild.
The only part of it I get is being able to be like, look, I'm someone who's not scared. Isn't that wild? Like, I do.
Yeah.
I get that. I get being excited about the fact that I'm not scared of something everyone's scared of. I understand that.
I don't
That I
understand
get.
that. I understand the physical prowess of it. I understand this is so physically difficult that I can do this and most people can't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That I understand. This is so scary that nobody would do it, but I can do it. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I always bring up wrestling. Wrestling to me is like such a physically demanding sport that doing it was like, okay, this hurts. A lot of it hurts. I'm hungry all the time, blah, blah, blah. But that's like the physical prowess of that I found attractive.
Yeah.
But being afraid of something most people are not afraid of something most people are afraid of doesn't quite resonate.
Yeah. I get it. It's
but also
not
to say what you said is wrong. I just like
yeah. I don't know. I do get it because I mean part of that is something I was telling myself when I have a bad show is, hey man, you still did something most people wouldn't even. dare
That's
to
a
do.
great example. I do take pride in that. Like when I get a little kick out of when people ask me if I get nervous, being like, no.
Yeah.
There's a certain pride to just that fact that I know almost everybody's afraid of public speaking.
Yeah.
And I'm not. That's a good. I like that.
Can you guys imagine a moment where you'd be like, I'm terrified to do this thing? Is there an engagement in stand up or some oration or
there's been plenty
speaking. So you're talking about public speaking.
Yeah, specifically like comedy related, right?
Yeah.
Theater shows are scary, obviously, but I mean, but they're more exhilarating than.
That's not been my experience.
Yeah.
I would say the first time I headlined, like first time I do like 40 or 45, that was nerve wracking because I had never done that much time. Anytime I'm doing something, like doing some new level of thing for the first time, I do get nervous with that.
I think what I would be nervous to do, and something that I kind of hope I'm going to do, although with the stuff I'm posting online lately, I don't think anyone's ever going to hire me to do it. But like more sort of like career focused thing, like professional development or like a keynote for an educational conference or something like that. I think I'd be very, very nervous to do that.
I think you should compartmentalize your comedy and present it as if it is compartmentalized. Like, I do this political stuff. I do this teacher-related stuff. I do this.
That's kind of what my TikTok
material.
is.
Yeah.
TikTok's kind of where I can get a little more unhinged.
Yeah.
I think if you present that, people would buy that you could be clean or whatever it is.
Yeah,
just for what it's worth. My unsolicited advice.
That's true.
I think the idea of I'm with you with the first time I do something. It's certainly more nerve-wracking, and it's rarely my best work. That's been sort of my experience. Second time doing something, even if it's in the same night, is significantly better. Yeah. The Oscars. I think that would be amazing and terrifying to do. I can't imagine that being, or any like Emmys, any of that kind of shit.
You were asking something. I thought you meant something we've already done. Something
just what would be the thing?
Oh gosh, I thought I could name 100 things. I told you like we were actually just talking about it. So someone approached us to do a show at the baseball stadium in Greensboro, and that's very exciting.
Yeah.
But the idea of doing that, is a little nerve wracking to me. I'm still going to try to do it. 100%.
Yeah.
But like, the idea of like doing something of that scale.
So you would be like at home plate, and everybody would be in the stands.
Yeah, I think that's how the setup would be.
Excuse me. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, during COVID, I did that. It is a thing that's sort of, it is kind of nerve wracking, but I think it's totally doable, and it was a really good experience for everybody. Yeah,
I think it'd be something where I'm genuinely not sure if I can do it well. You know what I mean? Like I think something like I'm gonna overstate my confidence a little bit about like the Oscars or something like that. I feel like if I was chosen for it, huge confidence boost just because of that. You prepare I know how to be funny. You want to say anything? Okay. I know how to be funny. I know how to I have like the basic requisite skills for what it would take to do that. Whether I'm good enough at all those skills is a different question. But like all that's hosting Oscars or whatever, it seems like a thing that with the right preparation, of which there would be a lot. I think I'd feel good about it. I think I'd feel okay about it. I think I could accomplish that. But like something where I just wasn't sure, and that's kind of what I'm thinking of with like a keynote speech. Like I just don't know if I could do that right. You know?
I looked at Nikki Glaser said that she did before she did the Tom Brady roast, which my throat's so dry, but it is kind of really projected her to different status.
It took her to somewhere else.
She said that she was taking her jokes. She said she did it 900 times.
Yeah.
So that is a level of dedication, and that I haven't been in a position to do a show like that. But that to me is daunting. It's that question that's like, it's a big thing my dad would ask us, like, how good do you want to be?
Yeah.
You get to decide how good you really want to be, because if you want to do that, you got to be that good. So you pick. What do you, that 900 times to do those jokes? And I honestly, for the minute I heard that, I was like, I wonder if all the men on that dais did their jokes 900 times.
I'll tell you who for sure didn't. Bert Kreischer and what's his face?
Segura. It was a little
that was
great,
rough.
Right? Yeah. But again, let's use them as an example. Those are two guys who've done huge shows.
Yeah, they're massive.
You know, I don't know. I don't think they were necessarily affected by it, but that probably hurt. Maybe they thought they were great. I don't know.
I have a feeling that they thought they were great.
There
was a lot. There was a lot of smug satisfaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
For doing the most like basic, outdated. The whole
felt
fucking
right?
joke was just. It's like they had just discovered that the idea of a straight white guy is kind of funny. It's like someone had just told them for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough to watch.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the whole thing? No. I know
I watched literally only that, and I can't remember why.
Nikki Glaser show was great because she started doing like more sports related stuff. They would have her on shows. She's fantastic. I haven't even necessarily. I don't know her material that well. I have no real gauge.
Sure.
She's was crushing it on everything she went to. Was like really, really good after that. Anyway, I don't know.
You want to do another one?
You guys, I picked one.
All right, let's do one more. I'll pick this one. And speaking of which, would you rather forget the words to the national anthem when performing on national television, or fall on your way to accepting a Grammy?
All right, quickly, I'm remembering now things that I'm scared to do that I have done and am fairly capable at. Performing music live. I've done it multiple times and I'm somewhat decent at it, but I get horrible stage fright doing music. Horrible.
Which is fascinating considering how much you're on stage.
It is. It's kind of weird. It's just, I think there's just more. In my mind, there's more vulnerability to it because I'm not joking, you know.
Yeah, which makes it more serious.
Yeah. I think that's part of it. And then people are just gonna be like, "Look, this pussy with his feelings."
Jesus,
I said bitch too. I'm done. I'll never work in this town again. All right, so
Greensboro.
It was yeah. I was a highlight, quote unquote. According to you.
You were.
I think I've had sort of my issues with memory problems or whatever. That to me triggers a I'm back to that sort of idea. Falling down.
Yeah,
I feel you're on your way to get an award. Yeah, I'll make that joke about it. I need to get some water.
Those are the moments that I have had, panicky moments on stage. That it's when I forget something. It's when for whatever reason the next joke isn't coming to me.
Yeah.
Like so forgetting the words, all eyes are on you. Your job is to sing. You have one job, and it's to sing this song at the beginning of whatever sport, whatever. With the award, you already did the thing. You already won you already performed in the movie. You already whatever.
You know what's? I'm so surprised to hear you take that stance.
Okay, why?
Because if you forgot the words. If you, Jonathan Williams, forgot the words of the national anthem,
you'd be murdered.
Fox News would butcher you, and I think you would love that.
That's a good thought. In a way, I could spin it.
I feel like you could spin that one pretty
spin
easily.
it. You know what? And I could be like, so I don't give a shit about the America song. Oh, I forgot the words to that awesome song.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
kind
of push back a little bit on that. I mean,
it's an okay song.
It's the national anthem.
All
I'm not
national
shit on
anthems
the
are
national
stupid. All of them suck.
Jonathan Williams.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's. I mean, I have some reverence to our national anthem. It's not that.
I like Jimi Hendrix's version.
No words.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's more just that it's actually.
Oh, it's like cooler. You don't like you don't like the makeup of the song. What's the word I'm looking for? You don't like the orchestration.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the song. Not the patriotic message behind it and all that.
I'm skeptical of performative patriotism in general. So like even if it's coming from a genuine place, I'm just like, if someone's wearing red, white, and blue, I roll my eyes. Even if
Are
that's
you a patriotic person?
Is that a real question?
No, it is.
You for real?
Oh, for real.
No. The thing is, I am. Like
this is what I was maybe expecting. But
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like because I'm that's why I'm so furious.
All right, so
about everything.
I got a buddy.
I give a fuck about their fucking country.
I have
more
a
about
friend
the world than it is
that he's a right leaning guy or whatever. We went to high school together.
Jason King.
No. So he put up this. There was this graph, and it was like since the 70s or something, the Republican Party has been more patriotic consistently.
Sure.
Democratic Party has gone down, and so we're 20% less patriotic or whatever.
That's also
so his post was, see, every time you hear Democrats or liberals do blah blah blah, it's because they hate America and they hate America's people. And my thought is the same as what you're shaking your head about. That
makes me so mad.
It's like,
dude.
no, you absolute fucking dipshit. It's because we do care.
Yeah, the measure of dude, patriotism is not putting on a sparkly fucking cowboy hat.
It's jingoism.
Patriotism is giving a fuck.
The jingoism that I see over and over and over again. It's like, no,
dude,
just patting ourselves on the back for shit that we're not doing well.
That's right.
Is a problematic.
That's right. Yeah. That's why, to me, MAGA, whatever, that's smoke and mirrors. That's nothing. Mm-hmm. You don't stand for shit.
Right.
You're just celebrating.
They're saying yes to the people that are telling them what to say
exactly.
and feel. And they're going, yes, of course. Well, they just said how great we are. We got to say,
no, I will take away, I guess, some of my patriotism points by saying, it's really just I care about where I am because it's where I am. I'm not an American exceptionalist. I don't think our country is unique in a lot of ways, but I don't think it's the best country on the planet and everyone else should look to us for everything all the time. I just think it's the country I'm in, and I care about people. Okay. So I care about the people in the country I'm in. And I do think there are things about America that are special for sure, but there are things about other countries that are special too. But I'm a patriot in the sense that this is the country.
Well, those
where
things
I live.
don't have to be conflicting, though.
What?
I can both say that we have a great country, and also so does Sweden.
Yeah. So my definition of patriotism is much more about I care because there's people here.
Yeah.
And it's where I am.
Yeah.
So I would be just as much of a patriot if I was in literally any other country, truly any other country. Because if I was in a country that I might have bad things to say right now about, I would be mad if I lived there about the bad things that I would want to be better. Yeah. So the version of patriotism that I think is valid, I am that.
Yeah.
Personally, that's how I see it. And that's why I'm so goddamn mad.
So you're like, if I was Russian, I'd be pro-Russian.
Yeah, totally. Well, and I'd be furious.
So you're not saying anything.
No, I don't think that's true at all. Because
I'm a little bit poking fun.
Yeah, I think patriotism is just giving a fuck about where you are. For me.
I guess there's something to that.
Giving a fuck about where you are and the people who are there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess really I'm a humanist. I just give a fuck about, so if that is antithetical to patriotism, okay, I choose humanity over country 10 times out of 10.
Here's what I can say over the last 20 years plus here is that the patriotism that I remember growing up with isn't the same that we're seeing right now.
Right.
There's definitely a lot more of people, in my opinion, rightfully going, we do have a great country. We haven't always done the best things. We haven't always been on the right side of history. We've done, rough things. Mm-hmm. There's parts of our past that have been, and everyone who fights against that version,
they're the ones fucking it up.
They're the problem.
Yep.
Yeah. The idea of I've had military family members across the board, and it's just kind of I don't know if just being patriotic because we got someone in the army was necessarily the best thing.
Have you ever met a person who was a good, interesting person who refused to acknowledge any problems about themselves?
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing.
Totally.
Man.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. You consider yourself patriotic, Jordan?
I think I would mirror what Jonathan said. Yeah, I care about the people here because I live here. So if that's like what being patriotic is, then yeah.
Yeah, right on.
That's my definition.
Okay. No, that's great.
Of real patriotism.
Yeah, I don't identify with the patriotism that I see a lot of people seem to describe of being like kind of like a super fan. That's just
right. Exactly.
God, that's such a good way to put it, man.
It's the I'm sorry, I'm going to use
I'm a super fan of America. That's so good, man.
It's fucking great. The opening pilot for Newsroom.
Yeah, you showed me
if
that.
you guys haven't seen it, it's like the greatest thing in the world. It's I'm forgetting his name.
Jeff
Daniels as this guy who's basically put on the spot in front of an auditorium full of people, and he somewhat gets prodded.
And he's
by
like
the
he's like a journalist.
He's like a Dan Rather.
Yeah, who's always been super objective and like news guy, like
got to pick a side kind of thing,
right.
and a college, whatever she is, a college girl. I can't remember, freshman or whatever. She's like, what do you have to support?
What makes America the greatest country on the planet? The presupposition in the question being, we all agree that America is the greatest planet, which is a thing of. Well, anyway, so she asked.
That's essentially what I think MAGA and all the people that we've grown up knowing is like, America's the greatest country in the world.
So I think patriotism for a lot of people, they confuse. MAGA's the case in point. They confuse patriotism with American exceptionalism.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
exactly.
We are special and different. No other country is like us. It's like, motherfucker. Right. You know how many world empires there have been throughout history?
Right.
A lot.
Yeah. Right.
We're just one of them.
Exactly. Yeah. And essentially, he breaks down our sort of status in the world and why we're not great.
He says we're not.
Yeah, ultimately, and it flies in the face of his entire career as a talking head and a Nightline, talking head or whatever. It's pretty great, man. If you haven't seen it, it's worth watching. He breaks down why. In the end, he's like, here's why we're not the greatest country in the world.
Yeah.
We used to be, and here's why we used to be.
Right.
Here's the things that we did that made us great and above reproach at one time.
So what he was saying was, we need to make America great again.
He really wanted to make America great again. Yeah.
That show was actually just very, very subtle.
Right.
Far right propaganda.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
What do you think, guys?
We're probably there. Probably at it.
I think we're there. Any upcoming shows anybody want to mention before we get out of here?
I got a couple.
Take the floor, Jason.
That felt like you were setting up a vaudevillian bit. But
Tuesday, July 8th,
I'll tell you what I got coming. And my ex-wife, blah, blah, blah.
North Carolina's Funniest, July 8th at Goodnights Comedy Club in Raleigh. And then on the 10th, you guys may have heard about this, I'm headlining.
I don't believe it.
I'm headlining at Goodnights.
I don't believe it. I don't support it.
I'm gonna get this clean.
Yeah. Get it clean.
I'm headlining Goodnights Comedy Club, room 861. Which Jonathan did not long ago.
It was very fun.
So I'll be headlining that. So you can get tickets at goodnightscomedy.com, or you can DM me and I'll tell you to go to goodnightscomedy.com.
Also,
I'm at Bin 110 the next Wednesday, which I believe is the 16th.
So you mainly just do things where it's a noun and then a 3-digit number.
Correct. And I headline.
Gotcha. But that just for anyone who hasn't seen much comedy or any comedy or whatever, there is not. I can't think of a better room, just physical space to watch comedy than the 861 room.
Yeah, it's great. Oh my god,
it's fantastic.
It's everything you think about. It's a brick wall background.
It's both the cliche of a comedy club and all the good things associated with that cliche.
Great room. They got a great bar. It's nice. It's clean. It's like upscale and cool.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
I don't have anything this week, but July, if you want to not be in Raleigh, on July 10th through 13th.
What?
I know. I'm going to be at the Comedy Club at Duckworth's. Is that what it's called? The Comedy Club at Duckworth's.
Wow.
Yeah. Featuring for an amazing headliner
Brent
who I
Terhune.
definitely remember. Thank you.
Who's fantastic.
Why do you know and I don't?
Because he's
not good.
friggin' amazing.
Is
the
he
fact that you're getting to work with him
Cut that
is
out.
fantastic.
No, I just know I shamefully do not know his work.
Do you remember how you got that?
Huh?
Well, I'll put it this way. I was like, you should open for Brent Terhune.
That's right. You did say that.
Yes.
But that is not how I... You know what? No, I don't think I actually am...
The list, right? Am I mistaken?
Yeah,
Am I mistaken?
I think I asked for him at your recommendation. And
it's the next week or something?
It might be him. I don't remember. It's the 10th through the 13th. It's going to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome. You know what? Whoever it is. I'm opening up my...
Okay.
Go ahead,
and while they're looking up whatever, actually, I don't have anything this week either, and I can't scroll far enough on my watch to see what's coming up next week. So, well, you should see all of us in Sperryville, Virginia for the Threes Comedy Tour.
Freaking right.
I want to say it's the 17th and the 18th.
18th and 19th.
It's the 18th and the 19th, so that's a Friday and Saturday.
Copper Fox
Distillery
in
Tickets are
Sperryville, North Carolina. JK.
Virginia.
Nope,
JK.
Sperryville, Virginia. Get the tickets on Eventbrite. I'm sure we can get Brian to put the ticket link in the show notes.
Yeah.
And while Jason's still looking this up,
don't
shout out your social media handle one more time.
Mr. Williams Comedy. If you want to see my sort of a little bit slightly more tame self, go to Instagram. If you want to see me unhinged, go TikTok. I say shit. I got a video taken down.
Really?
TikTok took down one of my videos.
Oh man, you've made it. You're a real content creator.
I know.
Now.
I appealed it and everything, and they denied
still
the
didn't?
appeal.
Ooh.
Yep.
You were just there with Ian Edwards.
I was just there with Ian Edwards. That was a great weekend. Shout out to Ian and shout out to Kayla Candy.
Good work. Yeah, it's not.
That's
coming
okay.
up.
It's the
And
10th
you can
through the
follow
13th.
me
It's
on
going to be
social
awesome.
media. I can't believe you didn't just go to the website. You can follow me on social media. I'm at Jordan Century on everything. I do music video reviews pretty much on everything. I gotta record some more stuff, man. It's been busy.
Yeah.
It's been busy. It's been hard to like record something. I gotta get back on it though.
Good job, man. You guys have some great content on there. You guys are amazing. King Jason Allen on all the stuff.
You'll get there.
Yeah. Oh, dude!
Wow.
You know what?
Good Lord.
I forgot to mention the one other thing about our weekend.
What's that?
Jonathan helped me read.
Sorry, this knife is still back here. If you want to go ahead and fucking pull that out.
Jonathan helped me read for a role in a film. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was 2 scenes I had to act out.
Nice.
And Jonathan
It was a
played
sex
the other
scene.
person. One of them was kind of a sex scene.
What?
Yeah. It was a post coitus scene.
That's awesome.
I avoided eye contact pretty
Yeah.
aggressively.
Yeah,
Like most people do after
Sex with me.
Yeah. You got there
Before, during, and after with me.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Well, it went well. It was just that he did this weird thing. He was trying to like adjust his blouse before I cut the camera on. And I was like, "You're not even gonna be in this. Like, it's just on me. This is my part." But no, I think it went well. I mean, this is my first time recording an audition for a film, so I probably didn't do it right. I was probably too close on my.
Do it right.
I feel like
I have no idea.
I probably should have had more of myself in frame or something. Like thinking about it, like after the fact, like I have no idea how to record audition, but it's done now. Submitted. Hopefully, I get it.
Awesome.
Seemed good to me.
Just wanted to mention that. So.
Cool. Good work, dude.
All right.
Proud of you.
Everybody, there will be some type of content released next week from the Zoning Out crew, whether that's an actual episode or
well, it might be
or
a
a
bonus
road
episode.
weary.
Yeah, next week's good because
Delirious.
I'll want this one because it depends on when my show is, and that might be the reason.
You don't know when your show is?
Well, I know, but it's like, we have another show before then, so it might be the week after.
Okay, either way, you will hear from us next week in some capacity. Good
Listeners,
night,
did you enjoy
Good
that
night.
vague
Good night,
confusion?
everybody.
Bye. We love you.
See ya.